Like with any injury, I think I just defer to Coach Peterson. You guys get that information from him.
With Nick out and Nate's getting a lot of work out there, have you seen from him? I know we talked about that last time, but also Thursday night, what would you like to see from him in a live game?
Well, just natural progression. Just go out there, have command in the huddle, and really like to see an efficient operation out of him. And everybody. I mean, that goes for everybody. That's the hope in week 1.
Along those lines, Joe Callahan, what have you seen from him so far in camp? And
Joe's doing a good job with the opportunities he's getting. He certainly is doing a really nice job in the meetings and picking up the system. And it'll be a good opportunity for him on Thursday night to go out there and play in a game.
I know we talked a little bit earlier. You said had not seen enough of Josh Adams getting work in the spring. You've seen him a little bit now. He's been able to get out there. He seems to add some power to the running game. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think it's too early to say right now. Just a little bit that the ball's been in his hands. And again, we got 4 games to go, and there'll be plenty of opportunity to evaluate him.
You've obviously got relationships with the receivers. Do you have to sort of be conscious about not focusing just on them during practice?
I'm comfortable in all the position groups on offense in particular. Spend a lot of time with those guys, and so in terms of engaging in conversation with any of them, completely comfortable with all of them.
Is there a difference out to you on the backup offensive line? Where do you feel like that unit's at right now?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Backup offensive line, that group, who stood out to you among those?
I wouldn't single anybody out right now. I mean, each guy, have better days than others, and that's just part of training camp and be an important part of the evaluation process to get it done here, out there at the link on Thursday.
What have you seen of Toby Witherspoon to this point?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, not really. I think it's too early to single anybody out, and be important for him to play well on Thursday.
How important, Mike, Mac and Shelton, second year, Shelton finally got back out there. College, maybe they didn't run a ton of routes. How important is that second year being more comfortable in the offense? How have they stepped up?
Well, I think you said it exactly right. They've got the foundation in our system. They got a chance to obviously go through a training camp an entire season, and then playoffs all the way through February. So there's extra practice time involved for those guys, and being exposed to what we want done and how we want it done. So their foundation should be very solid, so they come out here and play without thinking as much. And Shelton's missed some time, so be anxious to get him back out here.
into the decision to have Isaac Seumalo play center this year?
I think we got to train our guy, cross-train all our guys up front. So that's part of the process, and Coach Stalin is doing a great job of managing that.
Do you see him as being a center? Like, do you think that'll be kind of his position this season? Or?
Well, I think Isaac, we've talked about Isaac before. This is the third time I've done this here during training camp, and Isaac, part of his value is his ability to play different positions for us, and one of the most unique positions is center, so that requires a lot of on-the-job training, and that's what he's getting right now.
Are there differences with Nate when he's playing with the first team as opposed to when he's with the 253s?
Are there differences in what way, Zach?
As far as how he performs, he's obviously playing with better players around him, also going against better defensive players.
Right. I don't think Nate's, I don't think that's the first thought in his mind. I think it's executing, trying to do his job to the best of his ability. And, you got to adjust and adapt to the surroundings. So each and every play is different and has a life of its own. And I think Nate's just going about it that way. Not looking at the faces in the huddle. I mean, Nate was the faces guys in the huddle and trying to be positive and encourage and go out there and do his job really well.
Like, what are your expectations of Matt Collins in year two as far as that lead from rookie to?
I would hesitate to outline any kind of expectations, but we have high hopes for Mac, and he was certainly a big part of what we did last year. And like all young players, want him to elevate his game and continue to define his role and help us win football games.
Mike, where's Dono Pumphrey at this point, and how much has he progressed so far during camp?
Yeah, I would say he's done a very good job to this point in camp. The opportunities that he's been given, whether it be with the ball or without, and put himself in a strong position to be competitive for a roster spot.
What are the important factors of the decision for that fourth running back? I mean, there are different players, Donnell and Matt Jones and those other guys. What's most important for the
Well, we got to see how they play in the games. Live competition against other opponents, assignment sound, and obviously how they play with the ball and without the ball. That's critical for running backs, and particularly young running backs, as they learn the pass protection game in the NFL.
What position shows better in games, or the evaluation's more complete in games compared to practice?
Wow, that's a tough question. I mean, all these games are different. You never really know how they're going to go. You can't really script them out the way you like. So we just got to take the games as they come. You know, the guys that get constant exposure usually are the line. So from that standpoint, it's probably the easiest to evaluate linemen. A little bit more challenging with skill. Whether a ball goes to them or doesn't go to them, you know, that kind of thing, you can't predict.